So if you're a real OG of the channel, you know that I have been running these tires for about 3 years now. I know it's not the same tires because they are a mud tire. They're not gonna last 3 years with the amount of driving I do. This is my second set. So I feel like I've kind of got, you know, the longevity, all that kind of stuff figured out. And for anybody that's in the market for a good mud tire, I'm gonna give you my pros and cons of these. And that way, if you're looking into getting something like this, you know, if you're on the fence, this can kind of sway you either way of, you know, if you want to get them or if you want to, you know, spend more money and get you the Nittos because everybody's running the Nittos, whatever. Yeah, this video should help you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over my top 5 things that I feel that need to be addressed on this. I should have a few clips of some of the examples that I'm going to go over. So I hope this is kind of covers 2 videos in one. I know a bunch of people have asked me about mud, and as you can see, it's already got some mud on it, but we're going to hit it again today just for y'all. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my number one thing on these tires is the overall design of these tires. I'm going to insert a clip right here. So this is your overall tread design of the tire. And like I said, I mean, it's just aggressive. Like, there's your front view from the front of the truck. I mean, it pronounces that it, you know, it is a mud tire. And I like that about these. If you move to the sidewall, like I said in the first part, sidewall has got the aggressive lugs on the side. It's not just a little rubber and that's it. It has these big knobs on the side. If you get it from the front, let's see, you got, like I said, they're good for grabbing. Like I said, I don't get in a lot of muddy situations. I did yesterday, but they performed well. But a good sidewall, in my opinion, is just about crucial on a mud tire. Now, what I say on overall design is tread design and sidewall design. In my opinion, scale to 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being, you know, hey, go back to the drawing board. These come in at a solid, probably 8, if I could say. The tread looks extremely aggressive from the front. I feel like the wider the tires, the better it looks. So like my first set was a 1250, these are 1350s. Tread design is just looks good. It just looks aggressive coming towards you. It looks aggressive whenever somebody's behind you in traffic. It sets it off. That tying into sidewall. Now the sidewalls, I feel a good sidewall should look aggressive even when it's sitting still. And with the Predators, they definitely achieve that. The sidewall is bulky, it's aggressive, and nothing makes a mud tire worse looking, in my opinion, than a tire that has a nice looking tread and then the sidewalls are just plain. So you look at the vehicle from the side and it just looks like balloons, for lack of a better word. They're just there. So I feel like a good sidewall and tread combo was met with this tire. So that's why I give it an 8. Second thing I'm gonna go over is gonna be road noise. Now that's to each of their own. Me personally, I do not mind road noise because it's a lifted truck, it's got mud tires. They're gonna be noisy. Can they be excessively noisy? Yes. Are these? No. These I've noticed, like I said, going from a 1250 to a 1350, where it got rid of the balloon style and kind of opened them up more. These are a good bit louder than my 1250s. Do I care? No. I mean, I'll insert a clip right here for that. But like I said, it's to be expected with a mud tire, and honestly, I like the way it sounds. So on that, what I would do for road noise, I'd say maybe a 6, Could it be louder? Yes. Do I want it to be mud grappler loud? No, because you know there are some times I want to just be able to cruise and not listen to a drone of a mud tire the entire time. So third thing I have, and that's going to be the wet dry traction. So of course, with it being dry, I mean 10 out of 10, just because. Well, I mean, what tire isn't good in dry? Wet's a different story. If I had to rate them differently, wet would be more along the lines of maybe a 6, because I do find that they do like to slip a lot easier than the tires I had before. And honestly, I don't care, because I mean, who doesn't like to get the ass end a little loose every now and then and spin it? Doesn't bother me any. Would it matter, I guess, in a emergency situation? Yes, but we haven't come across that yet, so we're just gonna kind of roll with it the way it is. Fourth thing is gonna be clean out. So every mud tire is designed to clean out well, or supposed to be. That's the reason why the treads are so far apart. That way, when you get them up to speed, they get good and clogged. It's designed to do exactly that. Clean them out to constantly provide traction to keep you going. These, scale to 1 to 10, like I said, I found out yesterday. We're gonna find out again today. I'd say maybe about a 7, maybe an 8. They do a really good job. Could they do better? Yes, but I mean, it's enough to get you out of a bind, unless you're already in too big of a bind, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna show you right now is the tread, distance. So when I talk about the tread spacing, I mean, you can fit finger in between each grip, which, like I said, 1 is gonna be good for cleaning out, but that is where you get your road noise. Good mud tire should have good clean out properties, and I feel like this one it gets the gist. Is it, like I said, is it amazing? No, but it'll get you where you need to go. One thing I forgot to mention, and I was gonna edit the video and I saw that I didn't add this, is true to size. A lot of mud tires that come out, they 35s, they this, and when you measure them out on the vehicle, full of air, with the truck's full weight, they don't really measure out to be a true 35. These kind of the same way. So these are a 35, 13, 50, 20. And when you measure them out, they come out to be 34 inches, which they are worn down because I have had them on for, I think it's about 6 months now. So 34 and a half maybe, but they are not a true 35. I feel like 35 should be 35. So these fall short of being actually true to size. They're pretty close, but not quite. Now, as far as 1350 wise, let's see what we got. All right, so if we measure these out, we are gonna go hook the last tread. We are looking at hooking the top tread 12 and a half, so about 13 and a half, pretty close. So they're pretty close to being true to size on width wise. That's just one thing to expect when you get them, is that they're going to be shorter by like ½ an inch, like I said, because these are 6 months worn in, but you are going to get a legitimate 1350, which, rolling into my next case in point, if you're running a 1250 and like this truck's got a 6-inch lift, 35s, 12 wides with a -44 offset, the 1250s, they had just enough of that balloon to where I didn't have to trim the bumpers, anything like that. Just adding an inch. So yes, just 1 inch does make a difference. Don't let anybody tell you anything else or anything otherwise. Just adding the 1 inch, I had to actually go through and trim my front bumper to clear the tires. because of the fact that I added that 1 inch. And then I don't know if you can tell, but let's see if we can. It actually rubs back here now. So that's something to expect when you do run a 1350. All right, so the last thing I'm gonna cover in this video, like I said, I know it's gonna be a little bit longer, but you know, if you're in the market for these, it's just some things to know. The number 5 thing on these tires that I'm gonna rate is ride quality. And you're gonna be surprised by this answer. So overall, ride quality on these specifically right here, these 1350s, scaled 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to say probably about a 5. And yes, like I said, this is the second set that I've went through. It seems like the 1350s, and I mean, that may just be, you know, in my head or whatever, but it seems like they are just harder to balance. And I don't know if it's what it is, but you can balance these suckers and drive on them for 2 weeks, and then you get a vibration and they're out of balance. So I've done been back 4 or 5 times to get these balanced. Been reassured, oh, they zeroed out. The vibration is still there. I know it's nothing in the front end components because all that's newer. Y'all followed along. You know, I've done wheel bearings, I've done uppers and lower ball joints, I've done wheel hubs, I've done all of that. Yeah, everything. That is my only complaint on these tires, is the balancing. So leading to the balancing, you roll into the vibrations. So up to 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, they ride really well. It's the 60 to 70 and then up to 80, depending on where you're at, that they just, sometimes it'll be just a little bit of a, and sometimes it feels like it's just trying to beat the piss out of you. Would I buy them again? Yes, I mean, I would, because like I said, I love the way they look. Is the vibration just something I'm gonna have to deal with? Maybe not. Maybe I just got a bad batch this time. Maybe my next set won't be horrible. I'm considering that when it does come time to get some new tires, I may look into something different. So if y'all have your own suggestions, hit me up in the comments, and we may look into a different set, try a different set out, because man, I know I've made I think this is my 5th video on these. Not these specifically, but just this brand. If y'all want to see a different tire brand, let me know. And when it comes time to get some new ones, if I get enough of the same tire suggested, I will put those on here and run them just to see what I think about them. But like I said, overall, they've done a good job. And found out yesterday, like I said, they do pretty good in the mud. I wasn't paranoid about anything. I did have it buried pretty decently, but we're gonna go ahead and do that again today for y'all. So if I didn't already put it in here, I'm gonna put it in here right now and let y'all just kind of see that, you know, they can hold their own. If you like this video, you know, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and catch you on the next one.